So we have another guest who came to town all the way from Brooklyn, New York.
She took that trip for us, man. We appreciate you. Road trip on Thursdays.
So New York is in the building for sure. So thank you so much. We have the one and only Andrea-Rachel Parker in the studio. She is standing at 5'1", of Jamaican, Spaniard, and Native American descent. Andrea-Rachel is a blend between spice and everything nice. She is an American actress who is most notable for her recurring roles on the television show Power, which is on Starz. And also, she's Destiny on that show. She's on The Deuce, and that is on HBO as Bernice. She started in entertainment at the age of 6 through dance. So we have a connection. Because
you don't have to go through the whole bio. That's like the longest bio ever.
But it's important. It's important. Your accomplishments and who you are is important. I swear I'm almost done. But the fact that you're a dancer means a lot because I always talk about that, and so that's a connection for us.
It's your passion at heart.
It's my passion, yeah, right? So you dance, you're from Brooklyn, you went to Brooklyn High School, you was the arts dance major from there, and you choreograph, you do film, and it's just so many awesome things. So, yeah, so welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming through.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So when we first met, it was in Jersey. Just the end of last year.
Yeah.
It was the Power of New Jersey. The Power Woman, New Jersey.
It was something
like that.
Both of y'all. And y'all were honorees. How y'all not gonna remember? God damn it, y'all the honorees.
The Power Woman of
You
New
know
Jersey.
why? It's just because it's so many words. Like you and the
organization.
It's here or there. It's like Power Women, Women Power, New Jersey. It's
but
too
y'all
much.
showed up and showed out. I seen y'all pictures. Y'all was cute. Y'all did.
Because normally it's like the woman of this, like woman of power. But I think they like kind of made it unique, and they said Power Woman of New Jersey. So that's what it's gonna be today.
See, I'm not sure if they had the New Jersey even in it. I think it was just like
the Instagram handle.
So I don't know.
They might need us to brand them. Listen, I'm gonna hit them up.
Right, they might need your PR services.
But yeah, so we met there, and it was great because it was awesome to connect with you, and you know we were vibing, and your energy, your spirit, the team is here, and everybody was just really awesome, and so we said we was going to keep in touch, and I'm so happy that you are here, so thank you.
Thank you. I'm happy you reached out. I lose touch, I lose bases with a lot of people sometimes just being so busy, and I need people sometimes to just come back around and say, like, hey, don't forget. You know? So it's really good because we really did vibe. It was like immediately, I was like, oh, this is my homegirl.
That's
cool.
So, yeah.
Like a very genuine spirit, you know, and so that's why I was intentional about reaching out to you. And this show is becoming like very arts and entertainment, heavy. And it's new.
Okay.
It's very new. This is the 10th episode.
Oh.
Yes. This
Congrats.
is
you on our big mark. Yes.
Yep. And so that was certainly, of course, a part of the vision behind the show. But it just turns out like the arts and entertainment professionals, like we're just so interesting. So I don't know. We might make this an art show. But yeah.
And I wanted to ask you too, because you've been in art and entertainment since the age of 6, right? And I wanted to ask you, how was it growing up in entertainment? Like, do you still recommend it in this day of 2019, like growing up in entertainment?
I just don't think that I had the regular 6-year-old experience in entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, I was in the arts way before then.
Okay.
That was just a time where I started to do it consistently and do it for the purpose of being in TV or being on film. My mom, she's kind of up, down, all around. So, you know, she did her best in trying to do those things with me. But I mean, coming up in an urban environment, sometimes that's really difficult to balance with everyday life and school. And then I was what you called a very advanced or special child,
gifted.
Yeah, gifted. They always back in the day they had that word.
The gifted. I was never included.
So I was just a lot. I feel like I was just a lot for everyone to handle. I was speaking and walking at 7 months, 8 months, and then my mom said I was having conversations like an adult around 1 or 2.
Really?
So I remember distinctly always getting in trouble. People my grandmother always telling me that I was super hyperactive. I used to stay up late at night just reading books, and like mature adult books that I wasn't supposed to be reading. But I was like,
tell your business. Go ahead, tell your business.
I was. So I think like my personality also, like it let everyone know that I was probably gonna be doing this, but at the same time, it just kind of made it worse because I was sassy. I was always talking back. I was always in trouble. I was always doing something. So with that being said, I just don't think I had the same experience. I can't even remember how I got my first manager. When I was that age, I think maybe it wasn't that age that I did the acting, but I think maybe like around 8 or 9, my first agent. Anything that didn't go my way, I was just like, no, this is wrong, this is stupid, this is dumb. Like I was giving my little girl opinion. I was infuriated with everyone, and that just also sets a tone of like just making it more stressful. And then I had my little brother, and he's autistic, so life just became different because you have to like have that bond with him, and then other thing like you just have to help him develop.
Are you talking about Maximus?
No. So
okay.
Got a big family.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
His name is Chaz.
Okay.
But Maximus is dope.
Yes,
Maximus
he is.
My father's son.
Okay.
And that's from a previous relationship after my mother.
Okay.
And Chaz Williams is my mother's child through another
awesome person.
Person.
Do you think your Jamaican background actually helped you in your career as well? Because Jamaicans, they strict, you know what I'm saying? They add 10 by 10 with everything.
I wouldn't say that it necessarily helped in the sense of them being strict, and I mean, if anything, it made me not pursue it immediately. So, excuse me. Initially, I was in the arts, but it was always as a hobby. It was always as like I knew I was doing it a little bit more consistently. I knew I wanted to do it, but I was never told or taught that it was a viable career.
Okay.
Or like a straight path to be on. So I also grew up with my mom's Native American, so my father is the Jamaican, and I grew up with him saying, get a real job, you know, be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, you know, do something of that nature. So it wasn't really too supportive. And as a kid, I was very curious because I was so like smart talking back. And so I didn't really know at the time that I wanted this to be my life. You know, I wanted to do it, but because I didn't know that it was an actual career, I didn't think like, oh, really pursue it. So in the meantime, I was in love with taking different ingredients and making different things out of them, trying to like blow up the house and see if I could like someone's
with the
hair
easy
on fire.
bake ovens.
Right? No, seriously, I had like no, seriously. So for me, I wanted to be a pediatrician and then a veterinarian, and then I went to do something else in the field of that, and then I went to high school and I was a dance major and I was a biology minor. So when I went away to school, I actually pursued pre-med. So I was still doing everything that I grew up doing. I just wasn't pursuing it professionally. I did a lot of I did a modeling gig for Ed Hardy. I did their grand opening merch store. I did a lot of things when I was a teenager. It just wasn't with the intention behind it to actually pursue it. It wasn't until I was enrolled in school and the chemistry department there just started to really go down the drain, and I wasn't clicking with my chemistry department head, and I was just like seeing all of the people that I did these things with back home, because I went to school out in Lincoln, PA.
Oh,
So,
to HBCU?
Wait, where did you go?
Shout out to the HBCU.
Okay.
I went to Cheney, so we are the first. I just had to throw that out there. We the first HBCU.
You're not about to lie. You're not about to lie on this segment.
Not on this segment, you know.
Not this one.
Wow.
Shout out to the HBCUs,
Today.
though. I am going to shout out to HBCUs.
No, but yeah, so that was like me seeing everyone pursue it back home. It kind of inspired me, and I was like, wait a minute, if they can do it, I can do it. I saw my friends on commercials. A lot of my friends, they started doing backup dancing, and right before I left school, I actually did this big event. I can't remember which modeling company it was, but I did this huge event, and then I did this huge dance audition, and so it kind of reignited all of that. And
Sparked that flame.
Yeah, and I started to like dig into like, well, what would that be? And then I just started taking my friends' cars and driving, you know, through there. And then I did a go-go dance. So then I did.
Look at her excitement, D. She happy.
No, you know, in reflection, like some stuff is wild. So I did a go-go dancing company, and I remember when I told my father.
So this
about
was after college.
No, this was during college.
Okay.
But by the time school was over for me, it started to do really good. But then I also had a conflict of a lot of other issues, like just being at this place and this place, because a lot of the events that we got were in strip clubs or clubs.
In Philly?
No, not just in Philly, in New York. Like, once I left school,
okay.
I came back home to New York, and it was like trying to be there, but then you have 3 girls somewhere else that you need to go, or then you have this event starting, and I was doing it all by myself. And at this time, this is the learning curve. Like, I didn't know about like business insurance and making sure I have an assistant or an intern and stuff like that. So eventually it became too much stress, and I felt responsible for the girls, and a lot of negative things were happening with men trying to, touch on them.
Exactly.
But the reason why I brought it up is because my father's so Jamaican, and go-go dancing, it means strip club.
Exactly.
Right.
So when I was like, yeah, I have a go-go dancing company, he was like, a what? Like, he was like, wait, we not about to go to this room. And then he thought I was doing it, and it was like a whole big thing. But yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been an up and down, in and around, all that stuff. Even when I was at school, I eventually left that school, transferred to St. Francis to finish my degree. And during that time, I wasn't even going to go back to school, because when I came back home and I pursued acting a little bit more, a lot of good things started happening that got me excited. And yeah, in between that, I did what you were talking about earlier, just interning. So I did BDCs, and it wasn't because of money. It wasn't because of anything other than I just wanted to prove myself. Yeah. I wanted to know what I needed to know. I wanted to talk to who I needed to talk to. I wanted them to trust me. I wanted to build relationships. I was like, hey, look, I'll do the sign-in sheet if you let me take this class, and then I'll help assist you. Or like, can I become your assistant choreographer if I do this amount of classes? That's or what do you think about this? Like, I was just really, I did WPLJ, I did WPLS. So it was just like, I was just trying to be in there. Then I had an extra job when I started to get confused on if I was going to keep the go-go dancing. So I did so many things that it's just like,
and that's the kind of energy that you need in order to be successful as a entrepreneur and as somebody who is pursuing their own and literally creating a very unconventional path for yourself, like career path for yourself, and like trailblazing, being able to just get out there and be hungry for the experience, and be hungry to be in the room. And I just want young people to know and understand that that's the kind of energy that you need if you want to be out here and be highly successful, because society is super competitive. So what's going to make your edge and what's going to make you different beyond your other peers? And that's what I always try to share with young people, high school students, even college students. Like, you got to have that get up and go inside of you, you know, that grit and all of that. And so I think that
I love that that's what I was saying. I love that you said that, because one thing that really resonated with me that you said was your intentions, where your intentions were. And a lot of people go into different situations with different intentions, but that don't mean it's going to happen for you. You know what I'm saying? So when you spoke about intentions, I hope they heard you when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think also too, like, mentally, I wasn't doing it because it was a passion. Like, I had spent so much of my life growing up not thinking that it was something I should follow and I should do that. When I started listening to myself, it was just because I was listening to myself. That was really what it was. Like, it wasn't to prove anyone wrong. It wasn't because it was my passion. It wasn't because I wanted to make a lot of money or I wanted to be on TV. I literally was just like, I want to be dancing. I would rather be dancing. I would rather be acting. And I loved science. I do love science even still to this day.
Awesome.
It's something I'm very curious about. But when it translated into being a career path, I didn't want to put on a lab coat every single day. I didn't want to have to deal with customers. I didn't want to take that time to establish the type of legitimacy you need in order to have your own private practice. There were just certain things I didn't want to do. And I'm lucky in the sense that even though my dad wasn't always around, he's always owned several businesses. So my dad indirectly had taught me that the idea of business is possible without him necessarily trying to, because he never told me to go out and try to find my own business. He never told me to try to build a network or start an enterprise or pursue acting, or that wasn't what he wanted for me. My dad was a hustler, and so my dad did a lot of things to sustain himself. And in him having his businesses, he didn't want that. He didn't want the stress. He didn't want the frustration dealing with people 24/7. He genuinely for so many years just wanted me to do the engineering or doctor or something in that type of field. So with me, it was really also not just me listening, but also me just being very curious.
Right.
Like, the more I started listening to myself, I just needed answers. I'm that type of person where I'm like, I need to figure it out. I don't want anyone to say that they handed me anything. and I knew that I can do a business. Like, that's in my DNA, and I was doing I was doing good with the go-go dancing. It was just a lot of other technicalities that I had to learn, and in the meantime, I just wanted to pursue something that I was still very curious about.
So what was the turning point, and for your father to start supporting you with the things that you wanted to do, because you ended up on HBO and Starz, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what was that turning point for you and your dad to be like, this is actually what I want to do? Well, not just your dad, your family in general. This is what I want to do.
Like, my family, they're supportive. They're just supportive in their own way. So even when he didn't support me, it's not because he like completely would isolate me, but it was just like, it's not what he wanted for me. So he was very open about that. And we have a very, very good relationship now. So I try to be very careful of like what I say and how I say it. But with me setting that tone, it's kind of like us having our fallouts, us having our arguments, me standing up for myself. That is what kind of made him eventually switch. It wasn't being on Power. Power was like the icing on the cake. It was like another bigger thing to make him say.
Was it icing on your cake?
No, it was, well, I mean, as an actress, you want to be on a show. So I don't want to know. But in the sense of family, it wasn't the icing on the cake.
Okay.
Because I wasn't in a point where I wanted to prove anything to anyone else. I'm strictly doing the acting thing for me, and I could honestly say that. And we had already started to get into a very like good place way before then. I think, as a father, you just want to be able to say like, that's my daughter, that's my kid on there. So obviously there was a benefit, or there is some type of like cool aspect to it. But even before then, we started to rebuild and reconnect, and my dad is who he is, and I'm just like my father in a lot of ways. So there was a lot of clashing. So the reality is like, parents just have to learn to listen to kids. And I didn't come up in that generation, and he definitely didn't come up in that generation. So the idea of listening to someone outside of whether you agree on their career choice or not, but just being a human to them and having like honest, open conversations and hearing what that other person needs as a parent is very important. I had to start talking to him like that. I had to start saying like, hey, these are the things you didn't do. Okay. These are the things you did
Started being his child.
Right. And it's just like, you didn't do this, but you did do that. And as an adult, and as I'm growing into my adulthood, I understand and I see things from a different perspective. So I'm open to talking to you about it. But if we're going to do that, then it has to be an open conversation.
I feel you.
So we started to fix other things first, like respect and trust and honesty and transparency.
Shout out to Women's Month, man, because a lot of us women need to go back and talk to our dads.
And it's a hard thing because I'm a daddy's girl. So I have a complicated relationship with both of my parents. But it's always easier for me to talk about the one with my mom, because it's mom's daughters, you're supposed to clash. Like, you're both women. It's a whole big thing. But with my dad, I'm such a daddy's girl that it used to like really like, I used to just sit here like this. When my other family members would come. So for me, that's when he started to shift. And then Power was kind of like, now he's like, yeah, go after the big one.
I want to get into some questions about your roles, right?
Yeah.
So you've had some extremely diverse and inspiring roles, right? So you got your start, like you said, in 2011 with the Britney Spears fragrance commercial.
Yeah, I did that.
So you did that, and now you're on Power as Destiny and Bernice and Deuce. So, even back, when we take it back and we look at those roles, the topic of transgender was in those shows. And like, tell us, where did you find the inspiration to bring these characters to life? They're different characters.
Well, with the commercial, I mean, it was just a fun commercial. That was actually a fluke. So I ditched school to go to that.
Okay, following your dreams.
Don't do
just
that.
Like DJ active.
What school? High school or college?
I'm not going to say.
All right, cool. Because we just trying to make sure.
2011, maybe we can count.
No, I'm not stupid now. But I ditched school to go to that, and with me ditching school to go to that, I was in. A lot of people was like, no, don't do it. And I say a lot of people because I was excited about it, so I told people. But I'm close with family members, so eventually family members. Oh, she got this huge audition. She has this huge project. She gonna leave school, so it was a big.
Call her teacher on Tuesday, see where she was at.
No, they're not that invested. People just like to talk. But I feel like me going there, it was just another confirmation that like, you just have to go follow your gut. The person that casted it, they were really cool and dope, and then we did it like it was a party vibe. So when I arrived, it was a lot of fun, and me being myself, because it was a party vibe, like I ended up saying some cool things on camera and they kept it. Nice. They might have thrown it away. It wasn't anything like I knew it was going to be as big as it was. And then with the transgender thing, that was Law and Order, and that was the first time that
Shout out to Law and Order. I love that show.
I booked a role because of improv. So I'm a huge advocate for being in an improv class and
take notes, ladies and gentlemen,
all the time. That's like my strong suit.
Really?
Don't give me choreography. I will mess it up. But let me
you a dancer.
I know, but it's so like my memory is terrible.
Damn.
So if we're like in a group setting, you know, whatever, you gotta remember choreography, I really have to work extremely hard to make sure I get on.
So can you do zip zap zop?
Yeah, I can do zip zap zop, but I'm not going to last. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be perfectly honest.
Zip. You see, you gotta be ready. You gotta always be ready for the zip.
She ready to play zip.
We could cancel the whole show and just do that. That's my shit. I like that.
Yeah, so improv. I'm all about improv. Most times, if you see me performing or dancing and I'm like gigging out by myself, I improv.
You know, some people don't even know what zip, zap, zop is, right?
Oh, yeah,
all of us not dancing.
Y'all
kept me out of the loop.
It's a party game.
No, it's an improv game and it's a lot of fun. And you just zip, zap, zop, but you got to stay on who last zipped and who last zopped. And you got to follow the order. And if they change or assign like hand movement with it, you got to kind of go.
We play it at parties.
What?
Yeah, that's how I learned. We play at parties.
It must be like a house party. With
like a house party.
Okay, yeah, because I've done that. I didn't go to no party to play no zip zap.
House party for sure. So,
no, but yeah.
So as we begin to wrap up our segment, I'm going to throw some words at you that are very, very powerful, and they're all a part of the mission here at Women in Media and on WIM Speaks Radio. So when I say empowered, what does that mean to you? Empowered and equipped.
Confidence and preparation. So to feel empowered, I think women just need confidence. They need to believe in themselves. Sometimes you need to hear it back from others, but you just always have to find different reasons to say, I like who I am and what I've done is enough, and then have that confidence.
I love it.
And I feel like when you say equipped, that means preparation. I mean, you can always have the latest like gadgets and you can always read and have all the knowledge, but you really have to prep that too. You have to do the work. You have to do the action behind it. You have to build your mind. You have to like strengthen your heart, and then that will help you stay equipped and ready.
And then the last word, encourage. And like, tell us what you do to encourage others, and particularly women.
I stay out the way. I don't bother people.
That's how you keep people encouraged? Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
Perspective.
I stay out the way.
No, I'm just joking.
Reclaiming my time.
I don't know. I listen. I just talk to people. I don't know. That's I feel like it's very egotistical to say, yeah, I help others by doing this. Like I do this charity and that charity. Like who cares? I mean, I feel like I honestly believe that people are made to be used, not abused and not misused.
Utilized.
Just used, like utilized. Like, and I feel like your purpose here on earth is just to see who you are, your reflection in other people, and really like exchange those energies and really be in that moment, in that presence. So I feel the best way people can encourage another person is just by listening to them. As you listen to them, you see what they really need, what they really want, what they really aspire for, and then you can start to plan and talk and do all of that stuff.
You got some gems up there, you. I hear you.
But wrap it up.
She got a lot to talk. We gotta invite her back, D. We gotta get her back on the mic, man. She got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So let us know, how can everybody support you here in Philly and Women in Media? How
Go to
can
my
we support
restaurant,
you?
Philly. Look, I'm serving Jamaican food,
Yes.
Trinidadian food.
Okay.
It's in Norristown, Pennsylvania. That's 1729 Markley Street. Go to the
address.
restaurant, okay? It's PK's and Company, but it's PK's and Co. PKSNCO.
Okay.
Go to that and then follow me on Instagram. I am Andrea-Rachel.
Awesome. We appreciate you.
Andrea-Rachel, thank you
Rachel.
so much.
Yes,
To
man.
P.O.C, our co-host, thank you so much for being here. Lady FX, DJ Active, and a
Shout out
whole
to Lady
team.
FX. I didn't really get to rap with you like I wanted to. But
Thank you. Yes. And once again, this is our last show for Women's Month. So definitely shout out to everybody who's been listening to us this entire Women's Month. Shout out to all the women out there who's tuning in right now. We appreciate you. WIM Global. Let's go. WIM Speaks, baby.
Yes, so check us out online, womeninmediaglobal.org. This is your girl, DP Jeter, and I am signing off on WIM Speaks.